My name is Dusu. For those who don't know me, I am a healthcare professional. I am a project manager. I am a bodybuilder. I am originally from Sierra Leone. I moved to the States a couple years ago. Well, actually, it's been more than a couple years. It's been almost 20 years, maybe. I moved here. No, it's not 20 years. Wait, I moved in 07. What are we in now? 25. So it's almost 20 years. I'm right, actually. I have been in the fitness space for a couple years, maybe about 3 to 4 years. And this is my story. So the transition from that part of the world, which is multiple parts of the world, right? I think it's completely different. I think it's eye-opening. And I think I've been lucky to be exposed to different cultures and how different people navigate different interactions. As you can imagine, Saudi has different laws, different way that women move. And then in like the Sierra Leonean culture, it's completely different. And then here's, you know, there's a lot of freedom out here, so we have like the autonomy to do whatever we want out here. So it's different, but it's also the different pieces fit together for me. So my religion, I'm Muslim, but I also like to express myself. So I think that the freedom that I have here and having my religious background, they fit together. Like I know what my religion is and what I believe in, but I also want to have that freedom of, as a woman, I can make my own choices and venture into the world and do things without being like in a box per se. So I went to high school in Staten Island, and then I went to college in Buffalo. College was good. So I did both my undergrad and master's in Buffalo. It was different because that was the first time I lived away from family. I lived on my own, but it also teaches you how to navigate different communities, I would say, because Buffalo is not the same as New York City. And it's a slower pace of life than New York City, but it's a good pace. I think I needed that pace. And then when I moved here in 2018 to Maryland, I didn't really have like a community or anything. So what I would do after work is just go to the gym. And I just kept doing that, but at that time I really didn't know what I was doing, so I would just do a bunch of like cardio and then maybe some squats, a couple things and leave. And then of course, when the pandemic happened, that kind of slowed down. And then after that, then I joined a personal training gym and got back into it. And since then, it's been a big part of my life. So I joined a personal training gym, which was Evol, and I lost a bunch of weight. I was there, trained with them for maybe, I think it was almost 2 years, and then got into bodybuilding. So that's where I'm at now. So once I got, the way I got into competing was after a while of me training at Evol, I would get people asking me like, what's the next step? I should compete because I had like a really great figure for competing. Like I would do really well. And at first I thought it was crazy, but I talked to couple different people, different competitors at different gyms. So I go to a different gym, Gold's Gym, and just got their input. And I was like, maybe I should try this and see if I can actually be disciplined enough. I think that was the main thing. It was being disciplined enough with my foods, because working out is the easiest part. It's the easiest part for me. I can spend all day at the gym. But the food, the diet, and the fatigue, once you get over that, that's like, then you're a real competitor. But that's how I kind of got into competing. And now I've done a couple shows. So my first show was the OCB Presidential. So that was in August of 2024. And I actually didn't know that I could go pro on my first show. So I just thought that competing, I would go and I just wanted to place and be in like the top 3 maybe, get a good placing, and I actually placed first in every single category that I did for wellness. Open, novice, and I think debut, and then I won the overall, so I won the entire show. And that was kind of eye-opening that you can, basically if you work hard enough, you can basically get your pro card in the first show. That was my first show, and then I took some time off, and then I went back to do my pro debut with OCB, and I placed second, which was, again, it was a really big class, and I placed second, and I coached myself for that one, and then I also did a show after that a month later. The funny thing is, I kind of did the pro show and then planned to do the the NPC show in June. And then I ended up doing 2 NPC shows 2 days back to back. So I'm a natural athlete. So I did the non-tested side, which is for people, well, it's non-tested, so they don't really test if you're natural. And then the next day was supposed to be the main show for me, which is the natural show. So I placed really well for the non-natural side, and I'm actually, that's one that I'm really proud of, because if I place second in a non-natural show, then that just tells me that I have the potential. And then I went to the next show the next day and I won that show. The most recent show that I did is it's a national show, so the Ben Weeder, and I placed second in my class for that one. So the one that I'm really, really proud of is the non-natural show of me placing second, and then of course my first show where I won the entire show. So it feels good. It feels overwhelming. I think that as human beings, we sometimes underestimate our own potential, and a lot of the times where especially for like the last 2 preps, I felt like giving up because I just felt like I couldn't do it on my own. But there were people that would always tell me, like, you look good, like you're on track, like stay on track. I think that if we get out of our own heads, we can definitely hit like different milestones. But I think it feels like one of those things that we put our limitations on ourselves. I never thought I would be a bodybuilder. I never thought that I would win a bodybuilding show. I never thought I would keep doing it or coach myself. And every single thing that I've put my mind to, I've actually accomplished. And I think that that's just it's like a really calm, settling feeling for me right now. At first it was overwhelming, but now it's like, you're good. Like, you can do this. Balance. I think you have to be intentional with balance. So for me, it does get overwhelming. So I work full time, and then bodybuilding is basically its own full-time job. So currently I do online coaching. So I do lifestyle coaching for folks that either want to lose weight or gain weight, and that includes creating their workouts as well as managing their nutrition and just managing their entire progress. So I am accepting clients. I do have a website that I have up where they can go and inquire about my services. In terms of next steps for me in my journey in bodybuilding, I'm going to be taking some time off to grow and build. The body gets tired, I am tired, but it's also improvement season, so I'm going to take time to improve, get some feedback, and then come back. I haven't planned on what show to do next, but I would like to do the same show, the Ben Weeder, that I just did again. And my plan is to get my IFBB Pro card, but in the meantime, definitely just focusing on growing personally, career-wise, as well as in the fitness space. And I think that to grow, that I have to be open to feedback, and that's constructive criticism. And that's my goal. I'm going to take all the feedback that they give me and apply that. So I do want to end with saying that a lot of different pieces, like I said earlier, fit into my life right now. And one thing that has helped me, especially for this last prep that I just did, have been my family and my friends. There was a lot of times that I wanted to give up, So my family and my friends, and I think that having that support has made me stronger. And I didn't even have therapy this prep. So earlier this year I got laid off, so I was in between insurance and all of that. So not having therapy, but having people to rely on really showed me that like my community is my backbone. So I do want to end with saying thank you to my family and friends, but also that being resilient and believing in myself has just believing in yourself just takes you a lot of places. So yeah. So thank you for being a part of my journey. I believe that everyone's support has made me the athlete that I am today, and I look forward to continuing this journey with you all. Thank you.